the sublime nature of life, swaying as it does, between the poles of darkness and illumination, all the elements of creation in the universal dance of peace. A special feature that Rabbi Lynn provides as a part of Torah study is an opportunity to do a creative project that represents Judaism or the Torah portion that I'm studying. Since the main theme of my portion is transformation, I decided to capture this theme through the lens of my camera. Some examples of this are baby ladybugs interacting with each other for the first time, autumn leaves changing their colors, or baby bay laurel trees sprouting out from the dust. The idea of taking pictures really spoke to me because it seemed like the best way to represent my feelings about the portion. Another creative project that I made was a mezuzah, which is a symbol that is attached to the doorpost of a Jewish house as a sign of faith. The Hebrew character on the mezuzah is made of copper, and the blessing on the inside is written on parchment.
We come to the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
This prayer, this central prayer in our tradition, teaches us we are all in the same boat. Echad does not mean one. It means we are all bound together as one. And if we understand that we are bound together as one, the next prayer follows to love.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shakbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'ot al yadecha v'chayu le'totafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha
Uvishe'avrecha. All together. In Deuteronomy it is written, love fully, con todo tu corazón, heart, soul, and material might. Speak love, teach love, be love, for the sake of the next generation. Make your body a book of love. Let lovers faint in the streets as you speak the language of love. Let passers-by swoon from your devotion to love with eyes wide open and a musician's hands scribble love poems all over the walls of your house and upon your gates. A loving invitation for all to enter. So remember and perform sacred deeds in order to liberate humanity from the narrows of injustice and create a world full of love. May each of us do our part. As the service moves from deep listening to love, we cannot move forward with love unless we have justice. We know that. We know that. And so the service remembers this moment of the parting seas. And it is said that many people think that Miriam sang the song of Michamocha when everyone went through the waters. But there's another tradition that we have to sing this song, and that she sang this song with the women as they were passing through the waters, with the waters and the danger piled up on both sides. It was the power of their music that kept the waters at bay and allowed them to move through for the sake of the next generation. And they sang, Mi chamocha be'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef elei, malchut chara uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe v'Miriam, ze elianu v'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. And you know, this week, this is sort of my sermon. It's not very long. This week and in the last weeks, you know, many of us have been thinking about Ferguson, and Michael Brown, and Eric Garner, and it is so clear right now where America is at, and it's not pretty. And so I would like to tell this story. It's it's one of the most beautiful stories from the African American tradition. It's from the days of servitude and slavery. And it was said, and I hope I get through this, this story always makes me cry. It just does. Especially this week when friends have been calling from all over the country seeking solace for what's going on. It's so terrible. And many of you, I imagine, have been in the street. And you'll have many opportunities to be in the street if you haven't been in the street yet. That's where we have to go now to be in communities. We have to go into the streets in every city, and we have to stay there. This story goes like this. It said the people could fly. Back in Africa, some of the people knew magic. Said they could step up into the sky like hopping over a gate. Look up and see people flying like blackbirds, shiny black wings against the blue sky. Then slavery came. People were forced into slave boats. 83% of the people died in those boats. People had to leave their wings behind because it was so crowded. Still, they did not forget their magic. But the hardness of slavery made them forget the sweet songs of Africa for a while. Once there was an old man named Toby and a young woman named Sarah. They were working hard in the field. Sarah had her baby strapped on her back. There was a man, called himself Master. He was a hard man, hard as clay, hard as glinty rock. He could not be moved. He had another man, call him Overseer. When people slowed down from toiling in the field, he would send driver over to whip them to go faster. And then they had no choice. One day, Sarah's baby started crying in the field, and she wanted to comfort her baby, but she couldn't. Driver came over and started whipping her, and she fell to her knees. Toby came over and she said, I can't. He said, the time has come now. Time for you to fly. And he began singing that old African magic song, Kum Yali Baba, Kum Kum Tale Kum. And slowly she got up and she stepped into that air and flew away. And everyone saw it, and they were amazed. The next day it was hot, and people fell to their knees from the heat. And the master started calling for the whipping. And as driver came over with his whip, Toby started singing, Kum Yali Tumba, Kum, Kum. And the people remembered, and slowly they started rolling over, they stood up and held their hands, and all at once they began to fly. They flew so high in the air. People ran after them. "Take us, take us!" But the people flew away, and everyone saw it. And people continued to tell that story, because that story was about freedom. And the days when freedom came, people continue to tell that story, to sit around because people love freedom. Well, the time has come again for all of us to remember how to fly like Jacob with his wings, starting off in the chair next to the holy throne, falling and falling and falling into his own desires, and at the end of the tale, remembering how to spread his wings and fly toward that freedom